Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's that time of the month where I look to the previous month for IncomeShares Monthly update. So this is the performance for January. So starting off with the total AUM, it's 127.8 million now. That's up 11.5% versus December. So another consecutive growth since inception. Trading turnover is 54.2 million. So that's a new monthly record. This broke the $50 million mark for the first time. And cumulative fund flows is 142.4 million, and that's another 16.3 million in January. So strong inflows into gold and the Mag 7 in particular. The top yielding annualizer is 101.8%, which is MicroStrategy. But as always, yield isn't the key metric. So if we take a deeper dive into the asset and flow, the AUM driven by January. So as I said, AUM grew to 127.8 million, driven by 16.3 million in new inflows, with a moderate 3.1 million market pullback. We can actually see the top five yielders are MicroStrategy at 101.8, Coinbase at 92, Palantir at 71, AMD around 69, and Broadcom at 61. If we look here, we can see how we've got cumulative fund flow since January, and it has been fairly steady and in an upward trajectory. It's also good, more importantly, to see the total AUM growth since January. So the AUM continues its upward trajectory, closing January at a record of 127.8 million. So it seems like the interest is continuing to be maintained in these funds despite what's happening in the market. So new to this is the total returns. Obviously, as we've just started the year from a January perspective, year to date and January numbers are identical, but I just wanted to overlay it so it's very clear on this infographic. The best performer is silver at 27%. And don't forget, these are total returns. Alibaba's next at 13%, AMD at around 11%, gold at 8.69%, Alphabet at around 7.61%, Nvidia is at 3%, Meta around 2%, Amazon's also around 2%. Then we get into the NASDAQ, which is around 1%. The S&P is 0.45%. And then we get into the negative slightly with the Mag 7 at negative 0.05%, the Treasury at 0.13%, Tesla negative at 2.52%. We then got MicroStrategy, which is negative 4.38%, Broadcom negative 4.5%, Apple negative 5.34%, Microsoft a negative 10%, Palantir negative 15.16%, and Coinbase, the worst performing, negative 17.83%. Now, we need to bear in mind that a lot of these negative ones are either due to the tech pullback or the crypto bear market, crypto winter coming into play. So basically, the underlier is the performance issue. And when I do the January comparisons against the underlying and the competitors, we'll see some of that in the numbers as always. So if we look at the monthly ETP turnover in terms of breaking it out, we can actually see that's a new turnover record, with the London GBP seeing the significant recent activity. So the lion's share is still happening between London and the extra in terms of a split. If we look at the annualized distribution yields, and again, I've put the median numbers and the average numbers on screen because I find the median numbers to be a little bit more of a relier than the average for obvious reasons. But again, if you prefer looking at average, that's fine. Both numbers are available on screen. So if we look at Coinbase to start off with, its median is 82.8%. If we look at NASDAQ, it's 65.9%. Next, we've got Tesla at 64.5%, MicroStrategy at 78.8%, the S&P 500 at 47.8%, Palantir at 58.9%, AMD at 51.8%, Broadcom at 51.4%, Alibaba at 45.9%, Nvidia at 42%, the Mag 7 at 35%, Meta 23.8%, Alphabet 23.6%, Amazon at 22.4%, Apple at 18.3%, Microsoft at 7.5%, silver at 12%, the 20-year Treasury at 12%, and gold at 8.7%. So there you go, guys. That was the data for January. Let me know your thoughts. Was there any surprises in there? Do you like the fact that we've now included the year-to-date numbers in there as well as part of this update? Let me know in the comments. Was there anyone in particular that you're following? Are you still investing in the IncomeShares products? I know some people have pulled back on them. In a current market condition, they tend to, do a little bit worse. You've got the full downside, unfortunately. But, as we see a recovery, they should do pretty well. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're closing in on the next major milestone. And for those of you that want to join like-minded individuals, I'll put a link in the description for the Discord. So come join us in there, and it'll be good to have conversations with like-minded individuals.